YouTube Gaming came out a couple of days ago, and I've spent lots of time. I've spent too much time using it. Let me go ahead and go over my thoughts on it. First I want to talk about it from the viewer's point of view. From the viewer's point of view, I think it's a huge improvement over the way that YouTube was before. Now, many people don't know that you could actually stream live video on YouTube before. Anybody could. Because it was kind of a hassle. And finding a live stream was really, really difficult. So this new way to find live streams for focused on gaming really makes it easier for the viewer to locate a stream that's currently going on right now. So that is definitely a bonus. So +1 for YouTube Gaming there. Now, the inevitable comparison is going to be, is it better or worse than Twitch? And I don't think that that's a comparison that actually needs to be made. This is not a zero-sum game. I think that there's plenty of room in the market for both participants, and I can definitely see how Twitch is better in some ways and YouTube is better in others. So I'm not going to say whether or not it's better or worse than Twitch. That's up to you, each individual user, to decide. Now, before YouTube Gaming came out, I would say that YouTube was definitely worse than Twitch for viewers, and here's why. On the old YouTube site, if you were watching a live video, you would have chat on the right, a video on the left. However, the video was very, very small, and if you made it any bigger, then chat moved down below, and you would have to scroll down to see it. So that doesn't work very well. It was also on a white background, and that white background made it, I wouldn't say difficult to look at, but I would say it didn't look as nice as a dark background. Now, YouTube has fixed both of these issues with YouTube Gaming, and the way that they fixed it is basically they copied Twitch, and I'm fine with that. Go ahead and copy things that work. Don't copy things that don't. So what they did is they made the video section pretty much fill the screen, which is awesome, with a small stripe down the right-hand side that is for chat. And you can hide the chat if you want. There's 3 tabs on there, and I actually forget what they are. One of them is basically the info about the video. Oh, okay, and then the other one is chat, and then the third one is links that you might want to look at. Not links that you might want to look at, but related videos that you might want to look at on the third tab. Now let's talk about from the streamer's point of view. From the streamer's point of view for YouTube, nothing has changed. It looks exactly like it did if you had the Stream Now beta, which I think started about 2 months ago. I think I've had it for about 2 months. So it's pretty much the same. Now, there are advantages to it. For one, it gives you like a graph in real time that shows how many comments per minute are coming in and how many people are watching. Now, I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't watch that how many people are watching thing. I don't feel like it really changes how I act when I stream. However, keep in mind that if you are streaming, there is currently a bug where it will sometimes say that there is nobody watching and there are actual people watching. I know this because I've experienced it. I've been streaming. I've been talking to people in chat. I've had a bunch of people talking to me, and then I look down and it says there's nobody watching. So there's definitely some kind of bug with that, and I'm sure that they'll get that worked out eventually. Something else that needs to be looked at is chat. The way that chat is handled on YouTube is actually pretty bad. First off, there is one advantage to it, and this is an advantage for both the streamer and the viewers. And that is that chat is persistent. So when I click on a stream and open it up, I can see what people have said before I got there. When I do this on Twitch and I open it up, you can't see what came before you arrived, which is kind of cool, especially because you can rewind on YouTube, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I should talk about that now before I get further away from the viewer side of things. This is another advantage for the viewer. You can come into a stream and you can start back from the beginning as long as the stream is less than 4 hours old. So I can rewind all the way back to the beginning, see what somebody was doing, and then catch up because I can watch it at double rate. This would be especially good if I was watching, let's say, a Minecraft video, and the streamer was building something really quickly, and I was like, wait a second, how did he do that? Or what block was that? I can rewind real quick, look at it. Then I can go the 2x speed and watch the rest of the video until I get caught up to where the streamer was. That is a really cool feature that is really good for viewers. Now, back to chat. So the advantage that YouTube has is that it has a persistent chat that sticks around for you, and you can see what's happening in chat before you arrive. So that's cool. That's unfortunately the only advantage that YouTube has for chat, because Twitch chat is actually based on IRC, which is Internet Relay Chat. It has been around for forever, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the internet, IRC has been around an incredibly long time. It's a very stable platform, and it's also a very interactable platform, I guess is the word that I would use, if that's a word. It allows you to interact with the chat room in ways that YouTube just doesn't. So, for instance, let's say that I'm a viewer and I want to say something to another viewer. Well, quite often on the internet, people have ridiculous names with weird spellings and things like that, and it's difficult to type out their name. So, usually what I would do when watching Twitch is I would type the @ symbol and start typing their name, and then it would pop up and auto-complete for me so that I could just hit tab and then finish whatever I was going to say. And then that person would see that message highlighted on their screen because I used their name. This is an old feature from IRC, and it's great. This feature is not available on YouTube Gaming because YouTube Gaming does not use IRC as their chat backend. Another reason that I would really like to see YouTube Gaming switch to IRC is because then we could have bots. Now, a bot is usually thought of as a bad thing. However, as a streamer, having a bot in your channel is very useful. You could have little triggers that can be set off by chatter typing something in, and then the bot can respond for you. So, for instance, let's say that somebody is, breaking one of the rules of your stream. Now, you could just kick them out. However, maybe they are just unaware of the rules of your stream. It's not like that they're shown on your video when you're playing. So, what you can do is you could set up a trigger that is !rules. And if you type that in, then it can respond with all of the rules of your stream. Or you could have it answering, common questions. Like, what mod pack are you playing in Minecraft? Or, something like that. And then you have one command, which would be !commands, which would list all of the commands that you use in your stream. So this is all very useful stuff that a bot can do. In addition to this, yes, YouTube has the ability to make people who are watching your stream moderators. This is good. This is something that needs to be there. However, sometimes when you're watching a stream that has a very large number of viewers, it makes it very difficult to find out, or not to find out, but to manage chat. And the reason is because chat's moving too fast, especially from people who are spamming. Now, it's easy for a bot to catch spam and stop it. And this is something that is very difficult for, let's say, a human to do, because while they're trying to do it, first off, they're not paid for this. They're there to watch the stream, and they're just being nice enough to help you out by moderating. And it's scrolling past super quickly because you've got a bunch of people in there that are spamming. It's hard for them to locate the spammers and move them out of the chat room or to block them from talking because the chat is scrolling by too quickly, whereas a bot could do this easily. So you really do need two forms of moderation whenever you're streaming online, especially if your chat room has quite a few people in it. The first is a bot that can handle stuff quickly and doesn't have to think about it. The second is a human who can catch the things that maybe a bot might miss. So YouTube has the human part down, but it doesn't have the bot part down, and I really hope that they fix that. And one of the best ways that they could probably fix it is by adding in their own bot that just goes into every single channel, and there's a tab on the YouTube dashboard where the streamer can say, "This is what you're looking for, bot. Take care of it for me." Now, they do have a little bit of this, and that is like there's a profanity filter and you can ban certain words. However, it doesn't give you the ability to automatically ban symbols like ASCII art and things like that. And that's what people were doing. They were doing a lot of, I'll say, body part ASCII art messages. I'll be non-specific for our younger viewers, but you get the idea. And it makes it really, makes chat useless, and I ended up just closing it when I was watching a stream. So that is chat. Now, another issue with YouTube gaming that I've run into is that if I click the little star next to, down on the bottom left, or on the bottom right next to chat, there's a little star. And if I like the video, or not the video, but if I think that the streamer is doing a good job and I want to see more of their stuff, I can click that star. And what that does is it pins that channel on the right side of my YouTube gaming screen so that next time I come back, if they're online, it'll have a little green dot next to them. That's awesome. However, there's no button to actually subscribe to that person's YouTube channel on YouTube Gaming. And clicking that little star doesn't actually subscribe to their channel. Or does it? Now, here's where I'm a little confused, because I clicked on the star on a few channels, and I went to my regular YouTube channel, or my regular YouTube site, and I looked, and sure enough, I could not see those subscriptions under my subscriptions tab. So I assume that means that clicking the star does not sub to the person's YouTube channel. However, I also was streaming a lot, and I had people who clicked on that star button. Now, there's no way for me to see if somebody's clicked on that star button or not, but there are some people that said that they did. Now, if I go into my YouTube channel, I noticed I had a big spike of subscriptions on my YouTube page. So, are these people counting as subscriptions to my channel, but they don't see me in the little subscriptions part of the left side of the YouTube page? It's really confusing. And anytime something's confusing for the streamer, it makes it hard for us to make the best of it. So I'm not sure how that is going to work. The last thing that I want to say is, first off, is for the user interface of YouTube Gaming. A lot of people don't like the user interface for YouTube Gaming. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it looks good. I think it's attractive. I like that it's dark. And I do like that at the top, it'll show a thumbnail, and then after a second, it'll start showing, without sound, what that person is playing. However, there is an issue with this, and that is I have a son. And sometimes when I'm in my office and watching something on or browsing that site, he might walk into the room. Now, if somebody is playing a particularly graphic game, I worry that YouTube Gaming might actually put that up on the top. Like perhaps if somebody's playing Left 4 Dead and they put like their channel, which is not likely because it's an older game. I don't think that would be at the top of YouTube, but you get the idea. Like if that is up at the top of the page and it starts auto playing when he walks in, I really think that there should be a checkbox or a few checkboxes so that we can say to our streamers, what is this stream going to be like? So here's a few checkboxes that I think need to be added to the streamer's live page so that we can say, this is what this stream is going to be like. For mature audiences only. Give us a little checkbox that we can check, and that'll keep it from going auto playing without having to be clicked on. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. I want it to not autoplay without being clicked on. And when I click on it, it should say, this contains mature content. Do you want to proceed? We have to be responsible and protect children from horrifying images that we can see in video games. I'm not saying video games are bad. I'm saying some of them are inappropriate for children. The second checkbox that I would like is spoiler. So if I'm playing a story-based game, I can check that, and it's not going to automatically start playing at the top of the YouTube page. That way, if somebody's playing a story-based game, and I open up YouTube Gaming, it's not going to be spoiled for me automatically because it started auto-playing on the top. I can't think of any other checkboxes that I think should be added, but that's beside the point. So, those are my initial thoughts on YouTube Gaming. What do you guys think of YouTube Gaming? Let me know.